Pretty clearly, he wants these Reddit criticism communities to be gone because he hates being criticized. He can't take it. But the idea that this is like harassment that would drive you off the edge and that this is harassment that should be banned from Reddit is absurd. Getting recorded by this guy, that's a new level of depravity and disgust that you must be feeling. Awesome things happening here. Very intelligent commentary happening here. Okay, so guys, alright, this is the kind of second time doing this segment, which running it back kind of, because I was totally off topic for half of it last time. Yeah, maybe we don't have that as a background. Yeah, you think? But, a Snark subreddit has been accused of killing a woman. Okay? That's the current situation. Snark subreddit has been accused of killing a woman, not by the guy on screen, but the guy on screen's girlfriend or wife. I'm not quite sure what their relation is, but she ran this YouTube channel called Save a Fox for a fox rescue center. And she had a Snark Reddit. She had a Snark page. And she then committed suicide. Now, her husband or boyfriend talks about in this video that she had autism, BPD, depression. You know, not exactly the best starting point. Not the best canvas to work with there in her head. Gonna be real. But obviously, it's all Reddit's fault. It's all Reddit's fault. Because there was a Snark Reddit opened about her that had a total of 19 posts and 70 comments. So everyone's blaming the Snark Reddit. I say everyone, but it's really just a complete lie constructed by several totally malicious parties that we're going to go over. So in this video, he talks about her getting criticism. So let's just see the relevant part. I don't want to just go over this guy crying about his girlfriend or wife committing suicide, obviously. It's kind of a minor part in this story. Or, you know, it should really be a minor part in this story because it doesn't really bear any relevance to the subreddit. But it's being used. It's being used in that way. So let's just briefly go over this part.
But it also means that she took everything negative to heart. And now I want to talk about how words, whether spoken in person or written online, can affect someone. For a few years, a group of people had been throwing dirt on Michaela's name and the rescue. Most of these are people she knew, and some of them are other animal sanctuaries. They consistently spread ridiculous claims and rumors, and being the sensitive human that she was, Michaela took it all to heart. And it hurt her. It hurt her a lot. But she pushed through. For years, she pushed through the pain of people trying to bring her down and the mental challenges she faced. And she still rescued hundreds of animals and changed the lives of so many. But recently, more of the rude words, accusations, and name-calling came from some of those she considered close friends. I think all of this stems from jealousy and envy. But she felt as if the entire world had turned against her.
So even there, he says, yeah, there were words spoken online that did affect her, but more recently, these words started coming from close friends. So obviously, close friends and people that worked at other animal shelters seem to start having the same opinion as some of the things that were said online. We're saying those in negative ways or mean ways or something to her. That's what he's saying. He's not saying Snark drove her to killing herself. That's not what her husband, boyfriend has alleged in this video whatsoever. He's actually specifically focused in on people close to her having a significant effect. So that's not even his claim. Now, obviously, the claim that Snark killed her is coming from a very predictable place. It's coming from Ethan Klein, naturally. It's coming from Ethan Klein because he is perfectly happy to parade a woman's corpse around to get his own ends achieved. Because as long as the corpse serves its purpose, he won't even wait till it's cold. And it's not the first time he's done this either. Obviously, he did the exact same thing with Etika against Keemstar. He had the target, someone killed themselves tangentially, and he immediately grabbed their corpse, started waving it around. Starts waving it around, trying to get what he wants. Because he's a disgusting, despicable fucking lowlife. Through and through. So, there was a whole blow-up over this. And this Reddit Lies account was, you know, being very intelligent as always. So we'll go over this Reddit Lies account. If someone could just collect up all the stories about this, that'd be amazing. I mean, the Ethan Klein Insta stories. I don't have them all in one place. I can find them if I need to. Dude, what? Hello? Close that shit. Okay. So this retarded account, Reddit Lies, it's a very dumb account, very lazy, stupid account that posts a bunch of stupid bullshit very often. Posted this stupid fucking thread, because obviously everyone is totally shilling for Ethan Klein's narrative right now. And let's read some of this. Michaela Raines, founder of SaberFox, just took her own life. 2 months ago, she was seen on our SaberFox snark, attempting to defend herself from her detractors. Here's how the subreddit's creator responded when she showed up. It's time to address snark subreddits. So this is how the subreddit's creator responded, okay? In 2019, this was commonplace at your rescue for fighting between enclosures. You had a fox lose a leg a year ago, and you just now fixed the fencing. And you think that makes you look good? Stop taking in new animals and get your shit figured out. You could do well, but your head is too far up your own ass to do so. If you don't want to deal with the public, then maybe just stick to OnlyFans. So this is basically the worst message I've seen from these haters. This is as bad as I've seen it get. It's saying stick to OnlyFans. That is as vitriolic, as horrible as it gets. That is the limit. That is the most extreme. And she did have an OnlyFans. This was the most extreme level of harassment I've seen against a woman was this. And we're saying this made her kill herself. And my understanding is, I can't know any of this because I don't know fuck all about caring for animals or exotic animals or any shit like that, okay? Obviously. My understanding is, from what Alex Gekmo has sent me, from what I've seen people discussing, is that there is some basis, at least, I don't know whether they're true, but there's some basis, they're credible criticisms that are being made of her. So obviously she posts a lot of photos, a lot of videos of her animal rescue center and all that stuff on Instagram. There's a lot, you know, there's a lot of material for people to comb through, see if things are right. And she always had like fences broken and kept getting more animals and stuff like that. It's just like, it did not seem like it was being run well to a lot of people and they had criticisms of what was being done. So unless we're saying now, like, what is the prescription here? You can't raise potentially valid concerns about someone's business, the ethics of someone's business, because they might kill themselves. That's the standard that Ethan Klein, that everyone else is arguing to shut down these snark subreddits. That's what they're pushing for. That's what they want. Make no mistake, that is what Ethan wants, okay? Pretty clearly, he wants these Reddit criticism communities to be gone because he hates being criticized. He can't take it. When people take designs from other places and line them up with Teddy Fresh designs, it sends him into a neurotic fit. When people point out that Teddy Fresh designers are researching other people's stuff, it sends him into a complete rage, into a litigious rage. He absolutely cannot stand being criticized, and he wants these subreddits gone. It's what the lawsuits are about. Fundamentally, it's what the copyright claims were about. It's what the whole fucking campaign has been about. It's about quelling criticism that he feels like he can't beat. And it's gross. It's disgusting. It's pretty, it's even more disgusting seeing people willingly go along with it. Back in April of 2024, Reddit user PaleExplanation79 created an r/SaberFox snark after rumors of a bobcat biting a volunteer surfaced. Hello anyone that stumbles on this. I've been following SaberFox on Instagram since well before Michaela had her current property. I used to be a very loyal follower, and even followed some of the volunteers for more Fox content. I began following one volunteer that I became fairly close with, who began sharing with me some of the troubling and behind-the-scenes information. This volunteer shared with me that she had been at the rescue and was feeding the bobcat that Michaela owned, and the bobcat bit her. Michaela fully blamed this volunteer and asked her not to go to the hospital. The volunteer did agree to forgo treatment until her hand became infected. Michaela was furious with this volunteer because she didn't have a permit for the bobcat and was scared that she would be euthanized. She told the volunteer that if she had to go to the hospital, to just lie and say her own cat bit her. Michaela stated to this volunteer that she had been bit by worse animals and hadn't gone to the doctor. She also stated that she didn't have sympathy for the injury because she was still grieving the death of her fox, Farah, a year prior. The volunteer's hand swelled up immensely and she had to seek treatment. Michaela then banned the volunteer from the rescue permanently. The volunteer had been the sole caretaker for Loki and Todd, as they were not on Michaela's property. She covered the cost of their food, fed them daily no matter the weather, bought them enrichment and play equipment, as well as cleaned up after them and played with them. She was then suddenly never allowed to see those foxes again. This is when I decided I would no longer support this rescue. I continue to follow, and I've been keeping an album on my phone of evidence against the rescue. I'll be using this space to discuss it, and be a safe space for discussions against Michaela. When I have commented on her posts in the past, I've always been attacked by her followers. I hope to find more people to have an open discussion about this and what can be done. Also, I'll be posting screenshots of the proof I have so far, and this includes a text between Michaela and the volunteer with pictures of the injuries. So I don't have those screenshots. But none of this is harassment, unless it's like totally made up. Unless it's totally made up, wholesale, this isn't harassment. This is like a totally reasonable post, talking about an incident that allegedly happened at this rescue center. And just making a Reddit post about it. What's the harassment here? Seriously, where's the harassment? Same user would go on, posting unsubstantiated speculation about the mysterious disappearance of Dakota the Coyote, or discussing various injuries and deaths at the rescue. Where is Dakota the Coyote? Dakota hasn't been posted about since 2021. I know he went missing from the property twice. She hasn't posted about him, except for random replies to comments stating he can't be posted because the neighbor hates him. As far as I can tell, his enclosure has been taken down, so where could he be? Various injuries and deaths of animals in Michaela Rain's care. She's had many animals die on the road in front of her house. Okay. Well, I don't know how true any of this is. Obviously, it's unsubstantiated here. But this isn't harassment. Like, speculating about the whereabouts of animals that haven't been posted in ages on an animal rescue site. Like, that's not harassment. Sorry. Not at all harassment. Absolutely retarded to call it harassment. So then this person, so they misportray this post. So Reddit lies is a lying here. Curious that, I know. At one point, the user used ChatGPT to write a laundry list of ethical issues surrounding the rescue, most of which don't appear to apply directly to Save a Fox. So why might they not appeal directly to Save a Fox? Well, let's see what was actually asked here. The ethical issues surrounding a rescue organization breeding exotic animals are significant and multifaceted. So, this is a general prompt for rescue organizations breeding exotic animals. So, it was not specifically about this rescue at all. That was the prompt, and the prompt is clearly shown. Clearly labeled with the prompt. Other users began posting to the subreddit as well. A video of Michaela shooing a fox away with her foot was posted as evidence of kicking a fox. The subreddit accused Michaela of selling Ruby's fur because Michaela was selling Ruby's shed in little jars. Sorry, she was selling fur shedding. Michaela became aware of the subreddit sometime in the past 2 months. The official Save a Fox Rescue Reddit account was seen multiple times since April, attempting to defend the rescue against their detractors. Since I'm here, since all the rescue animals are immediately spayed and neutered upon arrival, I'm assuming you're referring to jackals as a personal pets. Contrary to popular opinion, I'm allowed to have pets. The parents are now fixed and the babies were adopted. They've gone to reputable zoos and educational facilities across the country. They're extremely uncommon here in the US and are great for African education programs. I donated them and made exactly $0. As far as people complaining that they are posted on the rescue pages, their videos frequently go viral, and viral videos raise money for the rescue. If that makes me a bad person, not sure what to tell you. We picked up shed fur from the ground and sold it to raise funds for the rescue. Oh, you saw a video of the bobcat biting said victim? Or you saw a bloody hand and said, that's proof enough for me. Any of the animals that are here have bite risks and are handled by me. Because I don't care if I get bit, but I will not let that happen to others. Let me stick my hand in a blender and tell you your dog attacked me. It must also be true. The gullibility you possess is wild, crying laughing face. Okay, first, let's note that you were taking count of injuries. Do you know why you're able to take count of the injuries that happen here? Because we post about them. Oh my gosh, transparency, honesty, mind blown. Second, every single instance of a bad thing happening here results in changes to make sure it doesn't happen again. We have team meetings about this, but of course you're not there volunteering because we are rescuing animals and you're typing on Reddit. Third, you'll notice with our new fencing in between each yard, there is a 4-foot buffer, so contact from yard to yard is impossible. It's almost as if we're paying attention. We're helping tons of animals get out of terrible situations. What exactly are you doing with your life? Must be something terribly important with how big you talk. You're just like, yeah, arguing it down with haters here. No, plenty of this stuff, I'm sure a lot of the complaints are retarded. Like selling fur shedding, it's not a big deal at all. But the idea that this is like harassment that would drive you off the edge and that this is harassment that should be banned from Reddit is absurd. Like, none of this should be bannable whatsoever. I haven't seen anything that should have gotten this subreddit banned or anything. So that's where the response comes in. Subreddit was tiny. Gone private. Talking about other snark incidents. Yeah, we don't care. Okay. So, yeah, there's literally no violations there. There's nothing you should even be against people saying. I'm sorry, but this is the consequence of being able to speak, okay? Sometimes, when you speak, not everyone's going to be happy about it. This is the consequence of speech. So unless you can actually point to something that's being said that should be actioned upon, unfortunately, you should probably just stop crying. So yeah, Ethan instantly jumped to weaponizing this for his own purposes, obviously, because he's a disgusting fucking lowlife. Absolutely, like, just, you know, beyond consideration at this point. Absolutely heartbreaking. The Snark subreddit is already private and the mods accounts are raised. Save a Fox founder, Michaela Rains, dies by suicide following online harassment from Snark subreddits. And then this disgusting piece of shit follows it up with exactly what our Snarkers do. Maximum cruelty with zero accountability. Reddit knows, they allow it, they defend it, and it seems some even participate in it. Reddit must be investigated and held accountable. So Reddit knows and don't do anything because they see your subreddit and the Snark subreddit as engaging in similar levels of harassment. Because the posts that are on the subreddit, regardless of anything you want to say about CPS calls or whatever, the posts on the subreddit, the material on the subreddit, are about as infringing as each other. That's what they're telling you, Ethan. So, regardless of any my CPS, my human skulls that you want to pull out, the actual content of the subreddits is not much different. And even Ethan Klein's biggest supporters would say this. Even Nick DiOrio, just a few months ago, a few short months ago, would have told you how terrible, how retarded, how defamatory, how insane, how vicious everyone on the H3 Productions subreddit is. Just months ago, he would have said that. However, now they're nice to him, and Snark's mean to him, so now the Ethan haters are bad, okay? So, everyone knows, anyone with any sense, intellectual honesty, principles can tell you they're about as bad as each other. When they found Noah Sampson's Bumble or Hinge profile, and were sitting there in the comments being like, oh, we should pretend to go on a date with him and then ambush him on a date. And that post got left up, thousands of upvotes, they didn't give a fuck, post got left up, no one gave a shit. The user ended up taking it down, I believe, not moderators. You can go back to the Kavanaugh lawsuit, see Ethan claiming, I've got no control over my subreddit. I've got no control over my subreddit. I can't do anything. They're just harassing Kavanaugh. Totally independent of me. It's nothing to do. What can I do? What can I do? He said that the whole time throughout the Kavanaugh suit. So he knows exactly what his subreddit plays at. He knows he plays the same game. He knows he has got no ground to stand on. No moral ground to stand on whatsoever here. And anyone pretending he does is a disgusting fucking liar. They are, by the way, guys, remember, Ethan supporters are much like, it's the same people as DGGers, okay? It is the same people. Even if they are not DGGers themselves, they are of the same mind. They are happy. They are participating in the lie, okay? Ethan supporters participate in a lie. They are not being lied to, generally. On the whole, they are not generally being lied to. They are not being tricked. what happens is signals are sent out that we are fighting this side. We are fighting this side, so if you're on this side, you toe the line. So they'll say things that the audience have a feeling like that doesn't quite make sense, or that doesn't line up with our principles beforehand. But they know the reason they're being told that is because Ethan or Nick or whoever is directing them on how to win. They are directing them on the line to say to win. They're not trying to tell them the truth. They're not trying to tell them their opinion. They're simply trying to give them the line they have to say to win. That is the only goal. It is the only ever goal with Ethan, with Destiny. Very similar, same with Dan. And Dan will say it. Dan will outright say it too. Dan will say, I don't care about truth. I care about winning. This is a good talking point because it's going to work. Dan will say that. That is, and so these followers, the supporters, the content creators, know they are lying to like about a 70% degree, and then they just quell that. They just quell that, and they're happy to go along with the lie because it benefits their end goal. So just remember that. When you see them saying this shit, just remember, no one is approaching this from a place of honesty on that side at this point. It is motivated by a conflux of self-interested factors. So there's the pro-Israel people. There's the hardline, like, conservative people. I don't mean far-right people, because they're a bit more, you know, it loops back around at some point. But the hardline conservative people, you know, like, big C conservative, you know, those people, they're all on Ethan's side, because it benefits them. And then a lot of commentary YouTubers are on their side, because they've got a grudge with Hassan. And they're happy to lie about it. Same with Destiny and all those guys as well. Happy to lie about it because they've got a grudge with Hassan. I watched Diorio's coverage and he said, I don't really have a position on all this right now because this is really crazy. Yeah, so we did go over a Diorio tweet about the legal thing on JSTOCKS last night. You can go watch that if you want. I'm not going to go over it right now. But yeah, so Diorio put up a tweet where he says, it's 3 tweets and it starts with, I think lawsuits can be really dangerous, but, and then the next 3 essay-length tweets are all just non sequitur. Literally, they have no relevance to what's being said, talking about Twitch's DMCA process and how bad it is. I think this is dangerous, but I don't have empathy for people, and also Twitch's DMCA is really bad. So, no relevance to the topic. Your emotional feeling of empathy has no relevance to your position or to what's happening. No one gives a fuck if fucking dipshit Nicholas Diorio has empathy for someone. It's like when Destiny says he doesn't care about a topic. It's an emotional statement that sounds like a principle, that is easy to argue because it comes from a place of emotion, so it's unassailable, but it sounds like you're principled. It sounds like there's an argument there. It sounds like you're saying something, but you're not. You're deliberately avoiding saying anything. So he says, I have no empathy for this people, and then talks about DMCA. DMCA obviously has no relevance to this whatsoever. Zero relevance to this topic whatsoever. The Digital Millennium Copyright Act is a law that was passed to require platforms to process takedown requests for copyrighted material in exchange for safe harbor protections. That's what the DMCA system is. Twitch has a DMCA system. They have to. They're required to by law. They have a DMCA system. They have a loose content ID system. It's not as good as YouTube's, but it's there. Ethan could have used the DMCA system. The DMCA system was open to Ethan this whole time. He just files one and the content gets taken down. It's that simple. But he didn't do that. He, before even releasing the content, registered it with the Library of Congress, completely leapfrogged the traditional DMCA system, and immediately went to suing. DMCA has no relevance to this whatsoever. Literally, but he spends 3 tweets talking about DMCA. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. So if you see someone start talking about DMCA, just know that is the surest sign of dishonesty on this topic. It is just blatant as fuck. Anyone that knows, and Nick does, what they're talking about when it comes to copyright stuff would not even begin to bring up fucking DMCA in this discussion. Because it has no relevance. It is totally meaningless in this context. It is literally totally just non sequitur. It means nothing. Anyway, next Ethan tweet. Mike from PA a few months ago sharing his intention is for me to kill myself. He's also a moderator of a Twitch group alongside the gentleman that said he wanted to brutally murder my children. Meanwhile, Mike... So I would need to see this tweet because I actually don't know what's even being said there. Meanwhile, Mike and the people like him are the ones accusing me of making it about myself. It's a stated goal. Harass until suicide. Gaslight any cries for help or appeals to humanity. So, Mike says, he's absolutely having a breakdown. If we keep pushing, the problem will solve itself. Not to mention 2 or 3 times he's directly called to violence against me in the past year, without punishment from Twitch. This type of harassment requires a platform's participation. So, literally, everyone has made jokes like this. Everyone has made jokes about how, you know, be perfectly happy if they kill themselves. Even if it's a serious statement, I don't think this is that much of a problem, to be honest. Everyone said shit like this. Literally everyone has said shit like this. Everyone who talks shit online has made a statement like this. This is nothing. Now, I do agree on this point. He has made calls for violence. Mike loves a call for violence. Mike loves a call for violence. And that is one thing where I think these Twitch lefties get off way too easy. And I do think there should be temp bans handed out for that sort of stuff. But yeah, exactly. Then Ethan can cry about calls for violence here. What does he think about the NRA again? What does he think? What was that about the NRA, Ethan? An NRA convention? What was that about Ben Shapiro, if there was a second Holocaust? What was that? So, I want more speech as well, Stylo. The issue is that you can't really... There isn't really a rule you can craft that allows for joking calls to violence. Okay? There really isn't. As much as I would love joking calls to violence, there isn't really a rule you can craft for that. So you generally just have to say no. So I will agree with Ethan on that second point. However, this first bit is fucking pathetic. He's trying to cyberbully me to death. He's trying to cyberbully me. It's Mike from PA, bro. It's fucking Mike from PA. Come on now. Oh, who gives a shit? Yeah, close your eyes, bro. I'll turn off the screen, bro. So, this fucking loser goes again. Anyone telling me too soon is just the same as telling victims of gun violence too soon. It's always the right time, you just don't want to hear it because it indicts you. So this is just totally pathetic, acting like he's a, you know, he's like David Hogg. Just crawled out from under a desk, you know, just crawled out from under a desk, just barely escaped, you know, fucking Nicholas Cruz, whoever's just, yeah, literally just in handcuffs, and he's standing there, bravely going, gun violence needs to end. We need gun restrictions now. That's Ethan Klein, guys. Just crawling out from under a desk. Barely escaped a school shooting. Like a child who's just in half their class get fucking domed. That's Ethan Klein, guys. That's Ethan Klein. It's so pathetic. It's actually so fucking pathetic. What's this? I don't care about that one. Wait, I can't care about this. Yeah, wait. So, yeah, obviously, again, this is just more proof. The whole point here is just to take down the Reddit that doesn't like him. That is his whole motivation here. Offers amnesty to when he passes a current H3 Sonic moderator, drops a clip of lawyer talking about discovery.
As smaller content creators may have negotiated, interacted with the H3 Snark mod, right? Based on how much the H3 Snark Reddit subreddit loves them, they may have interacted with them in a way that they were interacting with a person's real name. And in discovery, Ethan Klein is entitled to all of that. Who knows what the percentage is, but I'm fairly certain that at least one of these moderators, who was a huge fan, let's say, of Denin's, probably interacted with Denin's using his real email, using his real name. When they interacted with me, only one interaction, they did use their first name. And I'm a complete stranger to them. I've never interacted with the subreddit. I've never talked to them. I've never responded to email. When discovery hits, you have to turn it over anyway. So if there ever is a text message with a phone number or an email or, You know, God forbid they were using Facebook Messenger where it has your full name on it and the company you work at. God forbid they use LinkedIn. I kind of wish I could go back in time, help them out a little bit, and told them, you got to stop promoting these free people.
Okay. So what is this? Where are their bets being taken on suicide? People should tag at Robinhood app to ask if they're aware Reddit is saying they take bets on if someone will commit suicide. What is this? Are they taking bets on Ethan's suicide? Well, what is this in reference to? Reddit isn't saying an anonymous user made a post on Reddit. Someone said that in a reply to CaseyTron. I don't even know what we're talking about at this point, man. It's just so delusional and weird. Is this stupid motherfucker wicked? Good job, man. Seriously, good job getting timed out in both chat and Discord in one day. There is like one fucking rule in the Discord, and it is don't type in this specific channel. Let's run through the Discord rules, just for everyone, okay? Here's what the rules page says in my Discord. Follow Discord TOS. Use correct channel/threads. Do not converse in the farm channel. No physical threats, doxing, targeting, brigading, etc. No spamming, 18+ only. It's like the only rule that is specific to this Discord that isn't just a general obvious thing. You have been in there for 6+ months and you cannot follow this. That's crazy, man. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. Jesus. Okay, anyway. So they were going after, so obviously Ethan's total fucking spurg out over this snark shit. Led to a bunch of retards turning into like a huge mob. User by the name of Kazio Lion has been confirmed to be one of the bullies who harassed Michaela Rains and is not backing down. So this is some autistic trans Undertale furry who made a Tumblr post summing up a few criticisms of the Save a Fox rescue. And apparently it's entirely their fault. It's entirely their fault because they made one post 2 years ago summarizing some criticisms of the farm. Or of the rescue. That's it. That's it. But they are suspect number one. They killed this person. I'm not backing down. Fuck off. You act like I went to Michaela's house and sliced her open and left her to bleed. All I did was put together a few sources pointing things out she did wrong. I had no hand in bullying of any kind. Even if I did, you're no better for calling me slurs, telling me you're going to dox me, and sending instructions on how to kill myself. You asked me if I'm proud of myself. If I killed myself with the guys you sent me, would you be proud of yourself? Get real. And, yeah. People saying she's not being threatened or whatever. So they're going absolutely crazy after this person. Just to show you a little bit more what people are complaining about with Michaela. But I fucked this up yesterday as well, didn't I? Not yesterday, day before. Need to put this on Imgur. There's an OnlyFans post here. Rescue. Ethan brought me these beautiful animals a couple years ago. Not Ethan Klein, obviously. I haven't shared much of them anywhere else because it's nice having animals without worrying about the pressure to make videos of them. I get to actually enjoy every moment with them. Anyway, I'm telling you this because today is a special day. They had the first litter of pups that I'm bottle raising. I'm overjoyed. I'll eventually share them publicly. I can't wait to show everyone their habitat enclosure in Florida. But I thought you guys should be the first to see them. I've been raising 4 jackal pups from day one, the last 6 days, feeding them every 2 hours. Everything from tube feeding, stimulating them to go to the bathroom, SQ fluids, and enemas. Exhausted is an understatement. They sometimes have taken me 3 hours in one sitting to care for. Newborns are so delicate and one wrong move could kill them. I'm stressed and sleep deprived, but today I'm going on my first actual vacation in years. So they have just left to go to one of my wildlife rehabber friends until I get back. Please give me some good inspiration to take hot photos while I'm away in the tropics, because I've had an extremely difficult week. To top it off, my primary animal care employee happened to be on vacation. So my sincere apologies for not having the time to get to DMs. Please understand how busy I am, but I promise I will try. If you'd like to see more of these guys, please comment. So basically the point here is that she separated jackal pups from their mother, who was seemingly able to feed and breastfed them instead. Oh, not breastfed. What the fuck am I talking? Breastfeeding, instead of breastfeeding from the mother, she didn't breastfeed them. Instead of breastfeeding from the mother, that she instead bottle fed them. Bottle fed them. That's what I meant. The other way around. The bottle is the one that she does. The breastfed comes from the mother. She didn't breastfeed them herself. She didn't breastfeed them herself. It came from the mother. However, obviously the problem with that is that it like she says, it's exceedingly dangerous and is worse. Is worse if you fuck it up. They're meant to be fed by their mother, and the whole point of it is to just make them better pets, to make them basically imprint on her, so they imprint on a human. I think she's their mother. And yeah, then can be sold on as pets, is basically the point. Right? That is basically that is the goal. Yeah, I fucked it up. Yes, I fucked it up, okay? I get it. Okay, guys. 5 minutes of you said the woman was breastfeeding the jackals. Yes, women can't breastfeed jackals. Okay, I get it. I get it. Okay. So just where are we at? Here it is. Here it is. So I just want to pull up. I don't usually do this, guys. I don't usually do this because I find this guy to be like genuinely repulsive to look at. Like he's like some kind of like just look at him. He is so just he's just like this ugly fucking pervert. It's just disgusting. It's truly despicable looking at this guy. Like imagine you find out this guy secretly recorded a sexual encounter. Like how you would feel like you would be genuinely showering like every fucking hour of the day for a week. You would be like rubbing your skin raw, just like how you're feeling so violated. You know, you'd have like total episodes. Holy shit. Well, I understand gay people get up to a lot of freaky shit. But like, even if you're like on Grindr doing the piss orgies and the monkeypox gift giving parties or whatever, getting recorded by this guy, that's a new level of depravity and disgust that you must be feeling. Just saying, you'll never be able to, like, there's a permanent record. You literally can't wash that off. So, this guy who likes eating loads of cum, who likes eating loads of cum and spitting them and re-swallowing them and all sorts of stuff. All sorts of disgusting stuff, foul stuff this guy gets up to. So this guy did a 30-minute video here saying, snark culture must end now. As a guy who runs a community that has been well known for frequently finding like a lolcow type character, adding them to their little like, I guess you say like their little streamer rogues gallery and A-logging them for years. Community that is known for that loves doing that, is saying, snark culture must end now. So we're going to skip around this video a little bit, and then what we're going to do immediately after, guys, what we're going to do immediately after, is we're going to go back, and we're going to look at his Keffel's manifesto for a little bit. We're going to just read a couple sections of that, or not read, watch him read a couple sections of that, and just see if we can notice any differences.
Had a snark subreddit about them.
Let's just skip in.
She dedicated
truly, like, just get to the point, buddy.
There are certain hurdles that are the worst. Oh wait, do you think this will have any impact on the snark in general? I feel like Reddit should be lit up for allowing shows. Well, I don't know her personally. I didn't know this person. I don't know if they killed themselves because of the snark subreddit. Obviously, I think her husband saying that contributed to it. It might have. I truly don't know. But generally, the issue is that people who are snarking on people now, because everything is so intertwined with politics, people actually don't care. Like if I were to kill myself, my whole thread and all of Hassan's community would be cheering. If Ethan killed himself, they would all be genuinely cheering.
Bro, welcome to the fucking internet. How is this a new thing? This is not a new thing, you fucking retard. It's always better. Yes, your haters are going to relish in your suffering, pain, and eventual end. Yes, your most motivated haters will probably celebrate if you kill yourself. Yes. This is always been a thing. Always been a thing. Never will not be a thing. I don't, like, what are you talking about? So retarded.
They might, maybe, do a virtue signal tweet where they're like, oh, like, nobody should kill but they would genuinely, they'd be cracking jokes and like having the time of their life about it. How would DGG react if his son
Destiny would never joke about suicide
himself? I think most people would say it's not a good thing. I know that like there are people in here that like to show how pure and how smart they are by saying that like, oh, like we do the same shit. But we wouldn't, and we don't.
You do. No, you do.
It's not even remotely the same.
Okay, what's
I think
the
that if you
difference?
say that, I think that you're like a second meeting kind of person who's trying really, really, really hard.
Why can't you just explain the difference? Notice this? He's not saying that's not the case because... And then explaining the difference. Do you notice that? Do you notice what's happening there? It's not... No, we don't do that. Here's the difference. It's... You're only saying that because you hate me. Oh. Okay, well, that makes sense.
Show the community how like special and smart and different you are. But the reality is there are so many posts where when Hassan does a good thing, I remember when he did the and I
here we
even
go.
fought against it. I didn't like the opinion, but when Hassan was what did he do? He supported something or did somebody, he went to a protest or something, maybe the No King stuff, and the subreddit comments were like, oh well, listen, if Hassan is doing good stuff, like good for him, like, oh well, we should celebrate, blah blah blah. No other subreddit on the lefty part would ever say that about a liberal ever.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. They literally all they do. What are you talking about? That's just objectively untrue. That is just blatantly untrue. Lots of lefties will say, "Yeah, oh, you know, this person's a liberal. And I don't always agree with them. I don't totally like them, but on this issue, they're doing okay, or I like them on this issue." Yeah, that's very common. But everyone does that. That's not just a DGG thing because you're so enlightened. Everyone does that. Most communities are capable of doing that.
So yeah, the comments that come from you that are trying to be so special, like, oh well, we would do the exact same thing. No, it's not even remotely the same. You're clueless when you say shit like that.
So an example now, I can just cite myself. Loads of lefties go, oh, I agree with you on that. Because I have some lefty positions. Or some positions that lean more lefty. So we agree on them. Very common. Very common. People online, totally, again, it's not about policies. You can't say people vote. That's not the point, is it? He's talking about snark communities. He's talking about hated communities. Such a cop-out. What do you mean such a cop-out? Hassan talks positively with some liberals. Hassan says stuff like, oh, that guy's a good liberal, all the time. Who was the guy that Hassan called a good liberal the other day? You're saying our lefties are anti-electoral. That's not proven out. Do you want to show me the data on that? I don't believe that's proven out whatsoever. There aren't a lot of lefties. There aren't like a bunch of socialists and communists like people act like there are. My understanding is they do show out to vote. They do actually vote. Most voted for Kamala. Oh yeah, Adam Friedland. Easy one. Yeah, I've seen the post. I've seen the post that you've mentioned in chat 6 times. It's okay. So this idea that no one online can ever support, no lefties online ever give liberals props is just a total lie. It is a total lie. If a liberal gives a good take on something they have strong feelings about, they will usually say, I don't like this person. They're a liberal, but I've seen that many times. Okay, Shween, you are like genuinely mentally disabled. So not only are you making like retarded statements that are like completely opposed by data, but now you're saying Adam Friedland isn't a liberal. Okay. Okay. Awesome, awesome things happening here. Very intelligent commentary happening here.
You're very special, so. This was a selfish suicide. I don't mean to be edgy, but it is. I'm really sad for her, but she left her kid without her mom. I think I understand people kill themselves when they are burdens on others, but this wasn't that. People don't kill themselves because they're burdens on other people. People kill themselves because they feel like life is not worth living. I don't think generally, unless you're talking about like, I think generally people kill themselves when they feel like life is too painful or there's too much anguish surrounding life.
So, I mean, he doesn't actually say anything too retarded about the fucking snark subreddit causing the suicide here. He does actually manage to walk himself back from the ledge of fully saying they killed her.
I don't know how you describe like the primary, secondary, tertiary, like feeling like a burden might be deteriorating, but this sort of supportive psychotherapy,
yeah,
no.
I don't think it's matters much.
Links.
Anyway, the point is mainly about the communities. Where's the community?
And I wish
line?
you had to watch helplessly as paramedics attempted to revive her lifeless body. And I wish you had to hear the screams and the cries of her.
Harass with them. I don't know what changed, but it feels like as of recently, over the past like couple years, it's not enough to just have a it's not enough to just have a place where you talk about people. Now you have to like be involved. You've got to reach out. You've got to harass. You've got to you've got to be. You got to go to other
What is he going on about? What is he going on about here, man? Now you have to do this. What are you talking about? People have always done that. Haters have always gone and contacted people. Haters that are too extreme have always gotten too invested. Called police on people. Called sponsors. Contacted platforms. Put in reports. Tried to get people banned. This is very common far edge hater behavior. Very common edge hater behavior. It's not a new thing. It's not something that's especially common now. It's something that has always existed. It's always existed. It's always been at the extremities. It's not really something you can control for. At all. Like, other than introducing laws to make some of that conduct illegal, there's not really a whole lot you can do there. Because most of it's off-platform, right? Most of it's off-platform. Swatting you is off-platform. Most of the stuff that we take issue with happens off-platform. They can only ban doxing. And like calls to incitement. Stuff like that. But hey, if these platforms were banning doxing and incitement, Destiny would have been gone a long time ago, right? So, listen, it's not exactly a standard he wants to support, is it? Not exactly a standard he would want to support. But let's go back. Let's look for... In fact, let's play this one moment.
Communities, you've got a brigade, you've got to go to other social media. Now it's like insane. But I don't know if this is just my Kiwi Farms thread or not.
It's just you. Here's the one victim, guys. The omni victim. Okay, the biggest victim in the world. Everything is against him. Everything's always against him in a unique way. He is hurt uniquely by everything. The biggest victim in his own non-consensual sharing of other people's imagery. The biggest victim of Reddit and Kiwi Farms. The biggest victim of progressivism. He's the most raped man alive, okay? The most raped man alive.
I don't know if it's just my Kiwi Farms thread or not, or if it's everybody's, or if it's just like snarker communities of change in general. Like in mine, for instance, like there was this one fucking girl, I don't know why, dude. Women are crazy on the internet now. Not just to people in my orbit, I guess. Wow. Unloaded all of our conversations to a person that posts on my Kiwi Farms setting. He's like, he said multiple times, you know, I guess he's going to do it. He's like, if Destiny wins his case, I'm going to leak every single video and everything that this girl sent me. I was like, okay, well, that's kind of unhinged. But like, they're very actively involved in my ongoings. And then for a lot of these other snarker communities, you've seen with like the H3 snark community and stuff, that they're also like very involved. Like, it's not enough to just kind of talk shit. They have to like be involved in social media, reach out in other places and harass people in other places and spread information.
Like, what does he think is new here? What, like, dude, what happened to DSP for years? Wasn't there a whole op where there were multiple competing groups like catfishing DSP at once and leaking his shit? Weren't there like literally like faction wars of DSP A-logs? Like, this isn't new. This isn't unique to you. This is just extreme hater behavior. What do you expect to be done about this? What do you expect to be done about this?
Otherwise, it's like very important that they do it. Yeah, and it's just gotten to be a little bit unhinged. Because my advice in the past would have generally been, if a place is bothering you, if you feel bad reading certain comments, just don't read them. Especially in places like LolCow or in places like Kiwi Farms, like just like don't go to the website. It's very easy. But now all of the people on those boards, or at least it seems from what I've seen, will aggressively try to spread that to other areas. And so it's kind of it's a little bit unhinged, I think.
Rude words, accusations, and name calling came from some of those she considered close friends.
Wow, stuff from Kiwi Farms has never spread before. Whoa, it's not like there's a multi-million sub channel that you were very close friends with that does nothing but regurgitate Kiwi Farms threads. Whoa. Anyway. So guys, we all remember this, don't we? We all remember this, don't we?
Wow, we've spent it.
Remember this classic stream? This classic stream? The careful stream? We remember this classic stuff, right, guys? Careful's manifesto? You know there's a whole segment here called Kiwi Farms and Suicides. About how disgusting it is that carefulers would dare attempt to weaponize these trans people's suicides to try and get criticism of her shut down online. Remember that? I just want to show, there's a specific segment I want to go over that I think is great. Awesome stuff. Does doxing show up in the transcript? It's 1x. Okay. So I think it's around here. In the Q&A part of the end where he talks about it.
This, a couple other people that I don't think want to be named went through this. Yeah. Are you in contact with any news agency to report the story? So, I thought about this a lot. Glenn Greenwald actually reached out to get way more eyes on it. A deal with the devil kind of thing. I appreciate him reaching out, but yeah, I don't know.
He wanted to suck your fucking toes. He wanted you two to suck each other's toes. That's why Glenn Greenwald was reaching out. It was nothing to do with the manifesto. He thought he saw you on Grindr. He saw you on Grindr, and he thought it'd be better to shoot you a message over Twitter DMs instead. That's what Glenn Greenwald was messaging you for.
I finally opted against that, but why try to get Kiwi Farms back on Cloudflare? If someone's doing it moral shit, should they really be provided with a platform? Is it freedom of speech? So here's the issue.
So this is interesting, isn't it? If Kiwi Farms are doing all this terrible, evil stuff, should they really be allowed a platform? You know, you could apply this to a few communities, couldn't you, really? You could apply this sort of thinking to a few communities. They're doing all this terrible, evil stuff. Should they really have a platform?
Why try to get Kiwi Farms back on Cloudflare? If someone's doing it moral shit, should they really be provided with a platform? Is it freedom of speech? So here's the issue. To be clear again, no one's going to believe what I say. I don't like Kiwi Farms, okay? Kiwi Farms. But here's the issue. Kiwi Farms got dropped for two big reasons that I could see. One is that two threats were posted on the site. One where the person said they were going to go bomb her house, and some other weird one. Both of these threats were posted by sketchy users. Both of them were decried by the website, and both were removed within 15 minutes. If that's enough to get you dropped from Cloudflare, that's insane. Does that mean that somebody could come fed post in my chat? If somebody in my chat says, I'm gonna go kill Keffels, and then it's like, oh, boom, you're delisted. Like, I use Cloudflare. Cloudflare is a service that I use. Could my website get dropped for that if I ban that person immediately? If I delist them immediately, am I gonna get, that's insane. There needs to be a higher bar of proof to get delisted from that site.
So these were the arguments that are being used to wipe KF off the internet, right? These were the arguments. It was violent threats, okay? We're not even at that level with Snark, right? But that's not what anyone's arguing. No one's arguing. Snark make violent threats. Snark are making violent threats. They are trying to kill people. They're inciting people to kill someone. No one's arguing this, from what I've seen. The arguments are very loose doxing arguments, where it's like they screenshotted a Teddy Fresh employee's Instagram, or they posted the Teddy Fresh public business address. It's like loose ideas of doxing, incredibly loose ideas of doxing, and off-platform behavior that can't be tied back to the platform. So CPS skulls. So we are nowhere near the Kiwi Farms argument. We are so many levels below the anti-Kiwi Farms argument right now. You think a whole website is the same as one subreddit? Do I think it's the same? No, it's not the same. Ultimately, Cloudflare is a more fundamental piece of like internet infrastructure that you can't even run your own site without. You lose Reddit, you can make your own forum. You can do that. You lose Cloudflare, everything starts getting a little bit more difficult. Now KF have persisted. However, it is like they used to refer to themselves like, they still do this, but they talk about themselves like they're the fire service, right? It's like if the fire service said they're not going to service your house in an emergency because you're a white nationalist or something. Reddit is a little bit more, you know, there probably should be a higher scrutiny on actions on Reddit. But the arguments being used are not about the actions on Reddit. The arguments are not about the actions that are being taken on Reddit at all. They're arguments about off-site behavior. They're saying people called CPS. People sent skulls. I have seen dubious pseudo-docs stuff. Or I've seen one person's dubious, I can see the argument that it's a dox. On Snark. That's the worst I've seen. I've never seen a full-blown name and address dox. I've never seen incitement to violence. You know, Reddit's pretty clean on that sort of stuff. But that's as bad as it's gotten. And the arguments they do use are either off-site behavior or not doxing. So, like, they screenshot a Teddy Fresh employee's Instagram because they've stolen designs and there's evidence there. Or they're accusing them of stealing designs. Yeah, 90% of it is posting clips and being mean about Ethan or AB. Calling AB like a, you know, a dog or whatever, you know? That's 90% of it. So I truly don't understand the argument or the hysteria for why any of these places should be shut down. It's, like, totally insane. It only benefits, like, the most, powerful people, basically. Like, this is one of the, I think probably one of the more compelling arguments to the general populace about Kiwi farms and places like that existing, is it's good to have pockets of places that are insulated from, like, outside pressure to shut people up, because sometimes powerful people engage in wrongdoing that can be archived, right? So there's numerous people who have, like, had, like, you know, sexual assault allegations and stuff like that have had it catalogued on Kiwi farms. And because that's catalogued there, because people can refer to that, because people can grab the evidence from there, people can keep proving that. Whereas if it was, like, disparate on a bunch of different websites and that person had enough connections or money, they can maybe get that taken down. So it's good to have these pockets of criticism where almost anything goes. Because it's a counterbalance. They aren't, you know, ultimately, if you're like a complete nobody, while this does happen occasionally, generally, if you're a complete nobody, you're not going to get, like, a significant KF following or a snark following or something. It does happen occasionally, but generally, the more attractive targets are going to be people with big followings. Why don't I get that bad? If you potential getting that bad, then go ahead and nip it in the bud. I think there should be more moderation. Call it the Patriot Act or something. Okay, nice one, Bazito. But yeah, apparently we've all just completely abandoned these principles, and we think now, actually, big streamers should just be able to tell you to shut up. Stop saying that about me. That's bad faith. You're banned. You're banned from everything. You're banned from Reddit, and your website's taken off of Cloudflare. Okay, Max. But yeah, somehow we've just completely reversed on this. Oh, yeah, and then here's this retard saying the exact opposite of what he was saying a minute ago. Yeah, people shouldn't be celebrating dipshits like Hassan going out to the protest. He's not there to protest a historically disgusting and corrupt administration. He's out there because he legitimately hates the USA and wants to see it fall. For a test, ask them, do you think ICE has been more evil under Trump than normal? Or is this pretty much business as usual for the US and would happen regardless of who is in charge? I don't think Hassan would say the ICE would behave exactly the same regardless of who was in charge. I don't think Hassan would say that, personally. Says Gaza, for sure. But this is literally him doing the, he's doing the exact thing he's accusing lefties of doing in this tweet. Okay. Do I have any other of the snark stuff to go over here? I guess we can top it off with just Sean the Black stuff. So, Sean the Black has been added to the lawsuits. Where's the initial tweet about this? There it is. Good evening. I've been thinking deeply about everything going on, specifically the accusation that I'm a misogynist for suing 3 women. You're all correct. It's not been fair. That's why I've decided to add Sean the Black to the lawsuits for gender equality. Sean, be sure to thank all of your snarker friends for their constructive advice. So, this is like thinly veiled seething. I'm gonna waste a bunch more money because people are still seething about me online. Okay. Okay, man. And then he follows it up. I understand my announcement that I'm going to sue Sean the Black was upsetting to some. Therefore, in an act of superhuman grace, I will make you this offer. If the snark subreddit, Taylor Lorenz, and Cat Timbudge all apologize for calling me a misogynist, I will consider dropping the lawsuit against Sean. This offer expires Sunday at 11:59 PM. Say sorry right now. Say sorry for being mean to me online. Say sorry right now. Okay, so Taylor Lorenz has followed it up. Okay, bet. I'm ever so sorry for calling you a misogynist, Ethan. Now drop this lawsuit against Sean, who absolutely does not deserve this. It's extremely fucked up that we live in a country where a multimillionaire can sit in his gated mansion and use millions of dollars to weaponize a legal system to terrorize women and black people in silence by threatening them with financial ruin, by the way. This is a big part of why I started my YouTube series, Free Speech Friday, where I talk to experts and educate people about issues related to free speech. How the legal system is abused by the rich and powerful to silence speech they don't like. Now, I don't like Taylor Lorenz. And I don't like that she apologized here. And I don't think Taylor Lorenz stands very firmly for free speech at all, actually. However, in this one instance, she is correct to point out a free speech issue. She is correct. This is a free speech issue. This is Ethan trying to throw out threats of litigation to chill criticism. It's very blatant. He's saying, stop saying this mean thing about me and I won't sue. The point is not copyright protection. The point is quelling free speech. That is the point. That is the goal. The goal is stopping criticism. It has nothing to do with copyright. And it's working. And people are cheering it on. Because they're scum. Kat Temboj apparently joined in. Kat Temboj is no longer on Twitter. But she wanted me to communicate this statement to everyone. Kat Temboj here. I want to be clear that my hit piece never refers to Ethan Klein as a misogynist. This is the lawsuit to provoke the torrent of misogynistic abuse aimed at those women, who were already frequent targets. So, this is the thing, right? I wouldn't personally call Ethan Klein a misogynist. However, it's blatant. Okay, here's some facts. Here's some things you just can't deny, okay? Here's some things you just can't deny. Frogan, Denims, Casey Tron are hated for some legitimate reasons. However, the fact they're women of various unpopular women, especially persuasions, so you've got fat woman, brown woman, and hijab-wearing white woman, very unfavorable for flavors of women, okay? Did I say hit piece? Did I say hit piece? I don't know. Okay? They're all particularly disliked flavors of women, okay? And it's obvious to anyone rational that there is that extra, when people go after those people, there's that extra vigor. Yeah, so all three of those are Frogan anyway. There's that extra vigor. There's that extra, you know, that you really, people who go after them, they really feel it, you know? They really feel it. I get it. I get no judgment, no judging. But they really feel it when they go after them. It feels real good going after those people. Because of those factors. And no one's going to question it. Because it feels... No one's ever going to question shit you say about them. Because it just feels so good going after those people. And Ethan knows this. Ethan obviously knows this. And Ethan is obviously happy to use this and ride this wave. So I wouldn't say he's a misogynist. I would say he's perfectly happy to benefit from and weaponize other people being misogynistic. That's totally not outside of his playbook. Totally happy to do that. With the latest gift to the misogynistic cesspool of the internet and a catnip for the misogynistic ecosystem in the Twitch community and beyond. I'll apologize for something if I didn't say if it saves someone else from being financially destroyed, but I think this latest move proves the point of everything I did say. Yeah, I mean it does. Kat Temboj, again, I hate Kat Temboj. She's unfortunately right on this point. Unfortunately correct on this point. Ethan is happy to weaponize people's bigotry to his own ends, again, whether it is against them or Shaun the Black or whoever. He is perfectly happy to ride that wave, weaponize that, and dress up his own crusade with it. Very obvious to anyone with above 75 IQ. Dropped a new story in response. Dude. Sarcastic non-apologies will not be accepted. Snark, I need a mod to stick your post with a heartfelt apology. Do this and I will tear up the complaint. I'm 100% serious. So this is sarcastic non-apology. Yeah, because she didn't call you a misogynist at any point. Why would she apologize for it? So, like, it's just seething. He's on holiday right now. He's supposed to be on holiday, and he's spending his time just going, say sorry for calling me a misogynist, when they didn't. When they didn't even say that. Say sorry right now on his holiday. Ethan, spend some time with your kids, bro. Okay? Spend some time with the kids. You got a family. It's what you should be spending time on in your 40s, really, isn't it? Not crying on the internet about people saying you don't like women.